All right, well, if I had a brain in my head, my last set would have been my last set. Let's be honest. But I was gonna pack it in, gonna close up shop. But then I realized that wouldn't be fair to you, the audience. I mean, what have you done to deserve a reward? Nothing, that's what. Here I am. I'd say, as bad as that set was, it was merely a taste of things to come. God, this has been just the worst month. Ugh. And, from this stage, I've alluded to my struggles with depression. And, even before all the shit came down this month, I was in a really bad place. New Jersey. And also mentally. I was in a pretty dark place. I live on 4th and Jackson. And also mentally. Case in point, just 2 days after that set, my dog was fighting for his life in the ER. Yeah. And a lot of you have met my dog, Crypto, the king of Halloween. Little toupee dog I take everywhere. I like to dress him up in little outfits and take him rollerblading. And I almost lost him. But it's okay. He's fine now. And, cost me a good chunk of my savings. But to balance things out, the experience also took years off my life. So, turns out I won't be needing that much of a nest egg, so it's okay. But no, oh God. When I think about how close I came to having to develop a personality, it was all right, thank God. See, what he did was he ate something he shouldn't have, and he ended up in the ER. Luckily, they could get it out endoscopically. That's when they go in through the esophagus and just pull it back out the way it went in. I was afraid they were going to have to cut, and I don't think he would have pulled through that, honestly. Because that actually happened to my very first cat many, many years ago. He had foreign body surgery, invasive, and, I mean, he barely made it, and he was young. So I was nervous about this one. I remember that. Oh, God, that was stressful. Because even when they released my cat, the surgeon took me aside. He said, look, we won't know he's out of the woods until he actually passes a well-formed stool. So, just keep an eye out for that. And, luckily within a couple of days he did. He comfortably passed the stool. And I had just moved at the time, and I didn't have a support group like I do now. Oh, they're probably stuck in traffic. But so I didn't have anybody, so I called up my mom, and I'm just practically in, crying tears of joy that my cat's gonna live. And I'm like, he did it, Mom, he pooped. He's gonna be okay, he pooped. And my mom said something then that really stuck with me. She said, Clark, there's a fine line between parenthood and coprophilia. All right, well, she usually gets a bigger laugh than me, the old bitch, so that's fine. All right, what's going on in the news? Man, I'm not thrilled with the Hunter Biden verdict. That just came down a couple hours ago. I don't know if you heard. He was found guilty. He was convicted of lying about his crack usage when he purchased a firearm. And I've been watching this with great interest because, I'll tell you one thing, if Trump gets back in office, there is something I have got to get on day one. Something I would encourage all of my fellow liberals to get. Not a gun. Addicted to crack. Only way I'm making it through. Joy, that's your theme tonight? Joy. All right, let's turn to something a little more joyful, see how much I can suck a life out of it. Oh, hey, it's June. It's Pride Month. Yay, Pride Month! Happy Pride, all you LGBTQIA plus, all of you. Hey, you know, whether you're gay or trans or, you know what, just those two, gay or trans. The rest of you are weird perverts. Yeah, that's my message. Happy Pride to just LGT. Just the LGT. That's not a sandwich. LGT. You know, it could be. Depending on what the T's into, you know. Because the L and G aren't going to want to interact much, but if the T is B, then they can act as a bridge. Okay, I'm going to... Any other... Any B's with us here tonight? Any B's? Not that kind. I mean bisexuals. Do we have any bisexuals in the house?
Yeah.
Just us. Just the two of us?
Oh, hell yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, you're probably not going to like what I have to say, so look. And keep in mind, I'm saying this as a bisexual, but I don't think bisexuals should celebrate Pride. I don't. I don't think we should march in the Pride Parade. And I'm not saying we should go back in the closet. I'm not saying we should live in shame. I'm just saying having to buy sex is nothing to be proud of. I don't buy sex. That's not what makes me bisexual. It's the fact that whenever things turn sexual, whoever I'm with is like, well, bye. No, I'm not bisexual. I'm not interesting in any way. I'm straight as an arrow. Insofar as women also don't want an arrow stuck up there. Okay, you know what? That's where self-deprecation curdles into something more toxic. But it does give me an excuse to dust this one off. This is an anecdote I've been looking for an excuse to tell for over a year now. Back at the open mic in March 2023, and this was like 2 days after the Academy Awards. So I came in, I did my whole set about that, and didn't get the laughs I was looking for, you know. But I did still get some positive reinforcement because after the set, I got hit on by an audience member. So hey, I hadn't been doing something right? And I specify here a member of the audience, not of the opposite sex, as I may have preferred. But hey, I can take a compliment. And you're probably wondering, well, Clark, was he handsome? He sure was. I think. He was tall and Asian. I can't actually tell the difference. Is there a difference? I mean, I'm sure somebody will tell you, like, that dude's a Xinjiang Province 5. But to these round eyes, drop dead gorgeous he was. But yeah. And now look, I didn't lead him on for the sake of my ego. I was up front. I was like, dude, look, I'm very flattered, but I don't swing that way. So you'll just have to top. Pitch. I don't know what the euphemism is these days, but my stroke game is just not properly calibrated. So I believe. No, I didn't just say it. And what I also didn't do, and I really regret this, I did not act offended. And I really should, because how funny would that have been? Me, of all people, just flying into like a gay panic rage. What, just because I devoted the entirety of my set to being bitchy about the Oscars, you assume I'm less than 100% red-blooded American male? How very dare! Stuffing my rescue Maltese into his Hawaiian shirt. We're leaving. Tell the guy, listen, fruit. I'm going to take my dog rollerblading. Don't be here when I get back. Come back one veggie wrap and a nice latte later, he's still here. Hey, what the fuck did I tell you? Brain freeze. All right, so check it out. If I could be serious here for a minute. Watch now, you freaking laugh. If I could be serious, June 26th, that's a Sunday. That is the, down at Our Lady of Grace Church here on 4th and Willow by the park. That is their annual Pride Mass. Now, I'm not saying go to that. No, don't go to that. But there's this weird fundamentalist splinter sect that protested the last 2 years. They're like a slightly more polite version of Westboro Baptist, the God Hates Fags clan. And last year I was the lone counter protester, which was super awkward. So wouldn't mind some company this year. So that's Sunday the 26th, I think around 11 a.m. If you want to come say hi. Because, hey, God does not hate fags. Your gay elders who are steeped in the respectability politics of the 90s hate fags, not God. Peace. All right.